Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing really well today. So today I have a giant e.l.f. haul for you. So I'm going to have to talk kind of fast about all the products, and if there are any products that you want me to talk about more, if you could just comment below and let me know, then I will be happy to do that for you if I can. And so the first thing I want to talk about are the brushes that I purchased from e.l.f. recently. So I did sort of a little rave in a recent haul about a month or so ago about some brushes that I purchased, but I've gotten some more, and so I just want to talk about all of them real quick before I go into the makeup that I got. So I have never been a fan of e.l.f. brushes before. I have purchased a few before and I just didn't like any of them. I purchased some from the Studio line, some from the $1 line, and I just wasn't a fan. And I'm a big kind of brush snob. I have a lot of Hakuhodo brushes, MAC brushes, and brushes of that nature. So when I found that I liked one of the brushes that I purchased recently, I was really shocked and surprised, and I thought maybe they had improved the quality of their brushes or changed them, so I started buying more, and as it ends up, I really like a lot of the ones that I purchased, and I think that they're a really great deal for $3, so I wanted to tell you guys about them. The first one is the Complexion Brush, and so this one is $3 at Target, and it's actually a really decent little complexion brush. I mean, I think definitely I can say I think this is the best $3 complexion brush that I've ever seen. I mean, it's just very soft, it's a good size, applying finishing powder to your face, and it's really decent. I like it. Another brush that you can get at Target is the blush brush, and so this one is kind of like the paddle form of a blush brush, and this is one of the brushes I had previously purchased and I didn't like and gave it away, and I swear that they've changed it. I could be crazy, but I really think that they've changed it because now I like it. I think it's really decent. Another one that they just have started having out at Target about a month ago is the small stipple brush. And so this one is the one I'm really amazed with because I have the small MAC stipple brush, and this one I like every bit as much as my MAC one. I love it for cream blushes, for highlighter. I think it's fantastic. I kind of want to own like 5 of them because they're so cheap. I can't believe that it's as nice to me as my more expensive MAC one. So that's a great brush. You should definitely check it out if you don't have it yet. So these next brushes I purchased online when I placed my order. So the first one is the Stipple Brush. So this one, the other one is called the small stipple brush, and this one is just Stipple Brush. So this one is a larger stipple brush, and holding it up to my MAC 187 brush, they look like they're very similar in size. However, I don't know if you can tell by looking at it, but the stippling fibers seem more sparse on the e.l.f. one than on the MAC one. So I can definitely tell that the MAC one, when I stipple on my hand, it feels like I'm getting more bristles touching my skin and a little bit stiffer than the e.l.f. one. So I like the MAC one better for that reason than the e.l.f. one, but still for $3, if you're really on a budget and you're trying to find a brush that you can use to stipple your foundation, that e.l.f. one is really pretty decent as well. Definitely the most decent for price that I've ever seen. So, and then I also got 2 more brushes that I really like that are from the Studio line. One is the Angled Blush Brush, which looks like this. This one it feels so soft and yet quite dense when you do it this way. I really like it for applying blush, for blending out blush. You could even, if you had a larger face, use it to apply contour with. And then the other brush is the Flawless Concealer Brush, and I've heard some people talk about how they don't know how to use this because it's so big for a concealer brush, and true, I will say, like if you're trying to conceal small spots or like acne spots and you're trying to do a nice job of doing just on the spot or whatever, this is kind of big for that. Definitely it's too big for that. But what I use it for is after I do under eye concealer, I like to do either finishing powder or follow up with Bare Minerals. I use a combination of Well Rested and Bisque, a concealer powder that they have, to set my under eye concealer and provide a little bit more coverage. And this is just the perfect size for my under eye area. Like my dark circles are really quite big, and they go all the way out to here, and so this fits just perfectly in there. And I think this applies product beautifully for that purpose. Also, I think this would be a great size for contouring down the sides of your nose, or for, it's a little small for putting highlight on your cheeks, but you could use it for that. And you could also use it for doing a line, a contour line underneath your cheekbone as well. And it's stiff enough to apply product in that way and blend it out. So all in all, for $3, I think this is a really useful brush. I don't think, again, given the name Flawless Concealer Brush, probably not the best for little tiny spot work, but for all those other purposes, I think it works beautifully. And then the last thing from the Studio line is not a brush, but I picked this up at Target, and it is a mascara and shadow shield. So this is the concept for this is like you're supposed to use it to either put above your eyelashes as you're doing your mascara so that the mascara doesn't touch your skin, or you put it under here to protect against fallout as you're applying your eyeshadow. I feel kind of like I should be at a mask ball with this. Hold it up to my face. It should be like a sorry, I just had a moment there. Anyway, it's sort of similar to the concept of these lash cards. I don't know if you've seen these out, but I've seen them at a lot of places and online at various stores, and so these are just cardboard, and they're actually kind of pricey for what they are, and they're more disposable in nature than this, so I think it's a good price if you want to try a product like that. I haven't really used it a lot because I find it a little awkward to hold it up to my eye with one hand, but you know, obviously I think a lot of people can use these easily. And you may, especially if you do makeup on someone else, it may be a really useful product that's reusable and cost effective for you. So I also got a couple of brushes from the $1 line, and so I got two of this one called the e.l.f. Professional Eyeshadow Brush, and I got one of this one called the Professional Blending Eye Brush. So each of these were $1, and I got two of these because I wanted to show you kind of the difference in the quality between these. So like if you go to buy these, look specifically at each brush because each brush is different. So like this one right here is very flexy, bendy. It feels soft as I do this. I mean, it's got a little give, but mostly it's soft. This one, very stiff. And so depending on what you wanted to use it for, you could use both of these brushes for completely different purposes. The one that's stiff would make a great, if you turned it this way, you could easily like use it to blend out as like a wider pencil brush, blend out shadow underneath your eye, or apply it in a precise way on top of your eyeliner to set it, or blend out shadow for a smoky look close to your eye. It would just work very well for that. Also, because it's so stiff, it's good for packing on color. Whereas the other one has more give, and you can use it for like applying highlight a little bit better. In general, I like the one that's more stiff. So depending on what you're wanting to use this for, just be aware of that as you look at the individual ones in the store. And then the e.l.f. Professional Blending Eye Brush is actually a really decent little $1 brush. This one that I have, I made sure to pick one that it looked like all the bristles were nice and sort of at a nice taper, and it's just very good for applying crease color and blending it out. It's got a nice stiff give so that you can blend shadow very well. And again, this is one where there were some that looked really puny and didn't look so awesome, but I specifically picked one that I thought would work better. So be aware of that when you're getting the $1 ones, to kind of pick through them and see which one looks better to you. And I probably won't use these brushes because I just have such better quality brushes that I probably won't end up reaching for these, but they're certainly usable and they completely work, especially if you're like on a budget, or if you're just someone who thinks it's ridiculous to spend a lot of money on makeup brushes. These might be something that you might enjoy picking up. So that concludes all of the sort of tools and brushes segment of this haul, and so now I'm going to talk to you guys about the makeup that I purchased. So